It's a cool morning here at your Monday markets today. It's the 29th of May, so pretty well, let's say we're in winter. What I did yesterday morning was I got really excited in the herbal dispensary and I made this little wintertime tea box for you. And I just want to go through it with you because herbal teas are one of the most powerful and simple forms of medicine that you can have at home. It's great to have herbs in your kitchen and have your own kitchen pharmacy where you have the power to create medicines for yourself when you and your family need them. And that's what all my online 4-week masterclasses are about. That's what our long table wellness days are about. And I got excited yesterday morning and I made this, I've called it Wintertyme tea. This is it here. I'm just so stoked about it because what I did was I took our prescription cough, cold and flu relief base that I often give people in the winter, and that formula is andrographis, nettle, thyme, licorice root and Echinacea augustifolia echinacea root, which is really powerful for the body. And then when I went to make a tea, I'm thinking, no, Dom, you can't put andrographis in this tea. You're going to have to add yarrow instead, which is Achillea milliofolium. Now, Achillea milliofolium is very specific. It's what my colleagues in America are using at the moment for super dry lung conditions where there's shards in your lungs. And when your lungs are really dry and there's a dry virus in your lungs there's a dry, painful condition in your lungs, the Achillea millifolium yarrow really moistens the lungs and it's antimicrobial and it's just antiviral. It's one of the most ancient herbs. Isis 3,000 years ago in Egypt wrote about this herb. It was her favorite herb. It's used for balancing the body in so many different ways, which is, there's so many reasons to use every herb. Like when we take herbal medicines, you take them for energetic and spiritual and emotional and physical body support. And herbs are not single dimensional. They're not like a pharmaceutical medicine where the active constituents are taken out and where once those actives are taken out, it's a very refined, specific pathway medicine and it works very, very specifically. The pharmaceutical industry have got that down pat. Whereas with herbal medicine, we're a very crude, broad spectrum, holistic whole plant medicines. And when I talk about something like Achillea millifolium yarrow, this winter, it's the herb. It really is. It's the herb that we're using for multiple lung conditions. And I've added it in here. And then I've also put in nettle, which is Urticaria. Nettle to me is the magical herb of the lungs, and its magic skill is that when the red blood cells come to the lungs with the iron heme molecule across the top that picks up the oxygen to carry the oxygen into the bloodstream to your heart and the rest of your body, it's nettle that really strengthens that. Nettle gives your body the iron it needs. It helps increase movement through your lungs energetically in lots of different ways as well. And then we've also got in here Echinacea, and we've got the Echinacea augustifolia root. Echinacea traditionally has an American Indian herb, and its traditional cultural use is in cold winters. They would put the Echinacea root in all of the foods that they ate. It's strengthening, it's boosting, it's immunomodulatory. It also works in the Krebs cycle for cellular reproduction and it increases your cellular energy. It's a really powerful winter herb, and because it's a traditional Native American Indian herb, you know that this is a herb that is a strong herb, it's a fortifying herb. It gives your body the energy that it needs to fight whatever microbes and infections are going to come into your body. Echinacea is on its own an incredibly powerful herb. We've also added in licorice root. Now, of course, licorice root is for the mucous membrane repair in the body. It works really traditionally. I'm only talking about traditional cultural uses of the herbs here. And it's interesting that often the traditional cultural uses of our herbs are also exactly the same reasons why a herb is found through multiple clinical trials that are cited through huge groups of people to have the same use. And that's part of the mystery of herbal medicine and the magic of it, is that why were cultures for thousands of years using these herbs for these things when it was so-called non-evidence-based best practice, which is the model we use these days? And then why, when the evidence-based best practice research is done, are they finding these herbs to be used for exactly the same things that they were used for traditional cultural use? There's a big question for us, but it's one that I believe is very much around the fact that we naturally and intrinsically know what herbs to use and how to use those herbs. And so, like, we can say that we've got a knowledge and we've got an understanding of how to use medicines that is an intrinsic, intuitive thing, that is cultural and that is traditional, that is empirical, and it's really powerful. And these herbs all have that. Every single herb in this formula has that. The next one I've used is Thymus vulgaris. Now, thyme is a traditional herb for repairing the lungs, coughs, colds, flus, antimicrobial. It's super powerful in wet lung conditions. It helps dry the lungs, so it's super balancing. And then we've also added, that's it, yarrow, nettle, thyme, licorice root, and echinacea. And that's in this tea, which I've called Wintertime tea. It's the very first time I've made a tea like this. I'm excited. The other thing that I've added into your little kit is, oh yes, our favorite elderberry berries. Oh my goodness, have a look at these. These are certified organic dried elderberry berries. You want to make an elderberry syrup? This is how you do it. There's 100 grams in here. So in this little box, you're going to get 4 batches of elderberry syrup, and you're going to get 4 litres of elderberry syrup out of this. So you're going to take 25 grams of the berries and you're going to mix them with probably about 1.2 litres of boiling hot water. Pop it in a saucepan, and then the choice is yours. You're either going to add 300 grams of sugar, raw sugar, 300 mils of maple syrup, or 300 mils of honey. Now, in Vedic medicine, they say, oh, you cook honey, you kill the honey, but you cook lots of things, you kill it. What you do when you cook the honey in a syrup is you're not taking out all of the goodness, you're just taking out some of the goodness, but the whole idea of a syrup is you're making it sweet, you're making it thick, and then you take that syrup and you add that to things like a little bit of the syrup after you've made it. You would put it in with your herbal tea, your wintertime tea, and it will make it taste super sweet, and it will have all of the beautiful antiviral qualities of elderberry. The reason why elderberry is the magic herb here this winter again is that globally we've been going through a pandemic, and there is evidence-based to show that this particular herb, elderberry berries, are used in swine flu, and it's been used in cross-species viruses, and irrespective of that, elderberry is a super antioxidant, a flavonoid, so it protects the cells in your body. All of the super red berries are, and when we look at antioxidants and flavonoids, we want loads of those at this time of the year. The more flavonoids and antioxidants you have, the stronger your cells are going to be. It's super important. Add that in with really good essential fatty acids and you're going to have really good cellular integrity. And it's also antiviral, it tastes delicious, kids love it. If kids have got sinus infections, sore throats, coughs, colds, flus, traditionally, empirically, elderberry is one of the best herbs to use. And the last thing that I've put in this super little yummy box is Reishi mushroom powder, Ganoderma lucidium, certified organic Reishi mushroom powder. You get 80 grams in the box. And the Reishi mushroom powder, this is what it looks like. Yes, it's a powder. But guess what? All the fashionable cafes everywhere, all over the world, are putting little bits of this in coffee, putting it in hot chocolates. In my current winter wellness course, masterclass that we're doing online, I've got all of my students using Reishi mushroom in soups, casseroles. I've got them adding it to food, sprinkling it on top of food. I'm getting them to acquire a taste for it by starting with a little bit and then increasing the dose, and that's what I want you to do as well. It's immunomodulatory. It's known as the herb of immortality. It's the mushroom of immortality. It was a rare herb in China. That's why it's called a Raj herb. It's in a category, it's immunomodulatory, it's adaptogenic, so it works on the whole body. But the thing about Reishi mushroom, one of its magic skills that I love, is that it's been shown to reduce autoimmune markers in the body. So whatever autoimmune disease you may have, it reduces the autoimmune markers, and it works as a preventative for so many illnesses. It's fortifying, it's strengthening, it's a warrior's herb in the winter. It's a really strong yang herb, so I wouldn't take Reishi mushroom in summer, but because we're in the winter, we're in the water season, we're in the turtle element in traditional Chinese medicine, we're in the deep yin phase, we're taking the Reishi mushroom for restoration, we're taking it to increase our body's strength. And when you're in a deep yin phase, as winter is, what you want to do is you want to be taking the yang herbs at this time of the year to balance. And it does balance, it's warming, and it really helps the whole body. So that's our super little, I've got on the front here, enjoy wintertime. It's a little box, it's on our website, medicineroom.com.au. It's $65 online and it's free freight to you. You can come here to your Monday markets and pick them up while we've got stocks. We've just made limited amounts. Super fun, it's our very first tea box in the medicine room. And as you know, you can connect with us to get teas, because all of the herbs that we extract in medicines, we've also got available for you as raw organic herbs that you can use at home. So please connect with me. Have a beautiful day. Dom, Liv Kamal, medicineroom.com.au. Thank you.